Hey Raghunath, tell everyone about our Patreon community.
Sure, Kaustubha. The Wisdom of the Sages Patreon community is an incredible online yoga resource. If you like the type of yoga wisdom and culture we share on the show, then our Patreon community is a great next step. This is a listener-supported podcast, and any level of sponsorship will unlock a wide range of live and archived classes, talks, and even workshops.
Raghunath teaches, I teach, and we have a host of other excellent teachers on topics ranging from yoga philosophy, asana classes, storytelling, Ayurveda, kirtan, cooking, meditation, and a lot more.
We even have an incredible online Bhakti 12-step recovery group.
So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages.
All right, let's get it on.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York, Kaustubha Das. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to Sri Krishna Janmastami, the day of the appearance of Lord Krishna. We have a special show for you today, and we're going to be diving into all different types of songs and prayers and leelas and stuff like that. We're all excited. Me and Kaustubha are heading to New York City. Well, I'm heading to New York City. He lives in New York City for the Bhakti Center Janmashtami Festival, Mahamahotsav.
Mahamahotsav. Not just a mahotsav, but
Mahamahotsav.
Big one. Big
and
party.
What's going on today? We're giving class. What time are we going to be there?
I think we go on. It's either 6 or 6:30. I'll look it up.
Okay, you look it up. I think I'm doing the kirtan for the Artik. So everybody come on down if you're in the neighborhood. Okay, you're looking things up.
Yeah, don't count on me.
I'll keep talking.
Anyways, what a happy day it is, and I see you're all dressed up, Raghunath.
I'm dressed up for Lord Krishna.
You got your special bundi on.
We're gonna have some special bandhanam, some special prayers offered to Krishna this morning, special flowers, special outfits for the Lord. Very excited.
Wonderful.
Sing some songs, and yeah.
Okay, so we begin at 6:30 tonight. I think you open things up with Gaur Arti at 6:30 till 7. And then you'll speak from 7 till 7:30. And then I'll speak a little bit after that. And then it'll just keep going. And you're staying up with me, Bubba.
I'm not staying up.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
I can worship Krishna in bed. I don't think my God doesn't want me to stay up late.
I think he does. So Krishna's called Uttama Shloka, right? He's glorified by beautiful verses, different shlokas.
Topmost, Uttama Shloka, the topmost verses.
The most beautiful, wonderful topmost verses. And we thought for today we would just read verses glorifying Krishna.
Yeah.
It's the best thing. I was just thinking, this morning I got up early, I picked up some of these books. I just started reading verses about Krishna. They're like a lake that you could dive into, and that it's incredibly cooling and satisfying just to be in that lake. But that the deeper that you go into that lake, the more satisfying it becomes. And it's almost like I'm just on the top of it, but I know I can feel that this goes unlimitedly deep. Like this verse, this simple verse, speaking about Krishna's beauty or about Krishna's kindness or about Krishna's sweetness, that it's like it could be unlimitedly relished. Like just this verse itself is infinite because it's speaking to Krishna's qualities, which are infinite. There's no literature like this,
Well, before you go off the spiritual deep end right now, we're going to throw out some announcements. I can see you getting all excited, Kaustubha.
I'm just saying.
Exciting things coming up. Wisdom of the Sages in India. Hang with us. It's already people are signing up for this, and I love all the people signing up already. And so it's the last 2 weeks of January. It's like the 14th, 14th to the 26th. We're going to have the wisdom training with myself, Doyal Garanga, and Kaustubha Prabhu. And that's going to wrap up into the Flower Festival. And then that training's over. And then we have a opportunity for people to travel with me, Kaustubha and Mara, for our Wisdom of the Sages retreat to Mayapur. We're going to go to all the holy places of Lord Chaitanya for in Mayapur. And Mayapur is outstanding. It's wonderful. You can check out wisdomofthesages.com. And I'm really, really looking forward to that, Kaustubha.
Me too.
Yeah. So a lot of people are just coming in that Friday before the Flower Festival, going to the Flower Festival. Then Monday we all take off to Calcutta and take a car to or a bus to Mayapur.
Awesome.
3 hours north or so. I'm looking forward to that. Also, we got Lori Pag coming up this week. Lori Pag and the Chief are coming up. I think there's might be 1 or 2 spots left. If you're interested, go to my link tree in my Instagram bio or go to raghunath.yoga and check that out. We're having a yoga and bhakti weekend. And Kaustubha, wait till you see my stone wall.
I've seen
my
the
stone
photos.
wall is 98% finished.
I'm a little worried about that because it looks like it's more like 75% unfinished.
It's not. It's not. It's actually very good.
There's no cement
when you
holding
see
them
it,
together.
you're going to be like, I'm impressed with you. I'm very, very impressed with you.
Okay.
And you know what?
I want to be
completely out. It was. I've wanted to make a stone wall forever, and it's completely outside of my comfort zone because I don't do anything. I don't know. I've never worked with my hands, and this I got really focused, and I dragged in some other Savites.
Nice wall, Raghunath. That is a nice wall.
You're gonna like it, and it's our magic garden where we chant Krishna's holy name. It's a special place. I'm gonna sit you down there. I'm gonna chant the holy name with you there.
Oh, that sounds nice. Okay, right inside that wall.
Yeah, it's very, very magical.
Okay.
And there's a divine serpent that lives in the wall already.
I know that it's been a tremendous creative outlet for you.
Creative and just like it's like physical, it's mental, it's emotional. I have to talk to the rocks. I talk to the rocks. Go, where do you want to go? Where do you want to be today?
Okay.
Because I'm going to set you down maybe for 5,000 years. That's my
Or
meditation. You don't want to go there? Okay, where do you want to go? You got to get comfortable.
Okay.
Right? Come on, Mara. Give me some backup here.
That's all
Great
true.
wall. It's a great wall.
It's a very nice wall.
Okay. Now that we're done glorifying your wall, could we glorify Krishna a little bit on this holy day?
It's all God. It's all God.
All right.
We should mention tomorrow's show will be 8 a.m. Tomorrow and Friday. The show will be at 8 a.m.
Tomorrow
and
that's right.
We're flipping it back to 8.
Show on Saturday.
No show Saturday. Okay.
Show is Sunday.
Oh, we thought there might be an interview.
Well, unless Kaustubha's interviewing someone.
So we'll see about that.
Okay.
But we'll do Q&A day on Sunday.
Okay, that sounds good.
Could I get the party started, Raghunath? With just one verse?
Yeah.
Because I figured it's the birth of Krishna. Why don't we start with the verse glorifying Mother Yashoda? Right? Krishna's mother.
What a position she has. She gets the kiss of
Krishna.
Krishna's cheeks.
Oh. Okay. And we know that that's your rasa. Is that
Krishna's got it. Do you see this
maternal-
painting behind me? I just finally got this frame that got this painting of Krishna and Yashoda. I don't
beautiful?
know if you can see it from your vantage point. From So Sacred Art, it's 3x4. Right?
But the
3
verse,
feet by 4 feet. It's gigantic.
the verse that I'm about to read, Raghunath, you should print it out nicely and display it just beneath this painting.
Okay,
Little
I'll
meditation. Okay, you ready? This is from the book Padyavali, which is a collection of verses, an anthology of devotional poetry, collected and arranged by Rupa Goswami.
Mm-hmm.
And this verse is written by him. Most of the verses are written by other people. He wrote this one himself. He's like, I wrote one. It just was so right. I just had to put it in the book, right?
Okay.
This is Sri Yashoda Vandanam, a prayer to Mother Yashoda. Should I do the Sanskrit? I'll try. It's pretty simple. Ankaga pankajanabham navyaganabham vichitra ruchi satyam virachita jagat pramodham mahur yashodham namayami. Mother Yashoda holds Lord Pankajanab, Lord Krishna, on her lap. Her garments are wonderfully beautiful. Her complexion is the color of...
Her complexion is
Yeah.
the color of, I don't know. What's her complexion?
a fresh rain cloud.
Okay.
She delights the entire world. I repeatedly offer my respectful obeisances unto her.
Lovely.
Mother Yashoda ki jai.
Mother Yashoda ki jai. Well, I've got something for you, my friend.
What do you got?
Well, I put a link on the message board, and when we did Sweet Baby Krishna last week or so, I had everybody chant this with me. I've been chanting this prayer. Me and Mara have been chanting this prayer. Me, Mara, Catherine A, Henry, right, and Maya have been chanting this prayer since they've been here too.
Okay.
Sri Nandastikam.
Oh yeah.
So if everyone who's listening on Zoom wants to click on that, this is such a beautiful prayer. We chant this every day to my deities.
Nanda Nanda means Krishna, who's the son of Nanda.
Yeah. So Krishna's father's name is Nanda, and Nandana means the son of. So
Nanda
his
Nandana.
funny little name is Nanda Nanda. And Astakam is 8 verses glorifying.
Let's hear it.
All right. Sucharu Vaktramandalam Sukarna Ratna Kundalam Suchartitanga Chandanam Namami Nanda Nandanam Sudigra Negra Pankajam Siki Sikanda Murdajam Ananga Koti Mohanam Namami Nanda Nandanam Sunasi Kagra Mokti comes for Chanda Danta Panktikam Davabadunga Chikanam Namami Nanda Nandanam Karena Venuranjita Kati Karindra Ganjitam Tukula Pita Shobhanam Namami Nanda Nandanam Shibanga Deha Sundaram Nakadyuti Sudakaram Amulya Ratna Bhushanam Namami Nanda Nandanam Suganda Anga Shorabam Muro Viraji Kostubam Spuraktri Vatsalanchanam Namami Nanda Nandanam Vrindavana Sunagaram Vilasanuga Vasasam Sarendra Garva Mochanam Namami Nanda Nandanam. Last one, ready?
Yeah.
Jangana Sunayakam Sadasuka Pradayakam Jaganmana Pralobanam Namami Nanda Nandanam. How beautiful is that?
Lovely, Raghunath, especially the way that you chant it.
I'm sure a Sanskritist would be like, all wrong. You chanted the whole thing wrong.
But Krishna wouldn't mind at all.
His round face, Charu Vaktra Pankaja Mandalam. His face is like a mandala. It's like a beautiful, and Sukarna Ratna Kundalam. I won't go through the whole song.
Yeah, why don't you, if you've done the Sanskrit, why don't you?
His beautiful ears are adorned with hanging jeweled earrings, and his body nicely anointed. Suchar Chitanga Chandanam. His whole body's covered with sandalwood paste. I offer pranams to Sri Nandanandanam. Well, how about this one? Sudirga Netra Pankajam. His eyes are elongated like lotuses. Siki Sikanda Murdajam. And peacock feathers adorn his head. And Anangakoti Mohanam. Like all the cupids, all the Kamadeves, he puts into total illusion with his beautiful limbs. You know, me and Mara just played a game. We played a game. We said, let's memorize the song. So like if we're on a car ride, we said, okay, we're going to learn, you know, 1 line of this or 2 lines of this. And it's just, and now while I was reading this from the book, Mara was just like reciting it.
Pumping it out.
All these verses, all these prayers, they're great to memorize, especially for days like this or days, you know, when you wake up in the morning, you can beautifully chant these mantras to glorify Krishna, or when you go to a temple. Otherwise, I mean, I remember when I would, you know, go to church as a kid, it's like no one tells you how to pray. And imagine if like the first thing you say to somebody when you meet them is, give me this. Hey, Kaustubha, like I'm going to see Kaustubha today. Imagine if I just walked up to him and I go, give me $5. Give me some food. right? It's like, what kind of relationship do you have when you're like a child? Oh, mom, let me borrow $5. Mom, let me borrow the car. Mom, oh, come on, mom, let me watch what show I want. It just becomes a selfish relationship. In bhakti, we just appreciate it. It's the art of deep appreciation. So when you see Krishna, you offer these prayers, and they're all just glorifications and appreciations of his beauty, of his offerings, of his reciprocation with his devotees. They're all quite wonderful. It teaches us how to pray. I never knew how to.
All right.
You like that song?
I love it. I mean, are you going to read more of the translation?
Oh, if you want me to, sure.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
From the tip of his beautiful nose hangs an elephant pearl.
What is the elephant pearl?
It's those hanging pearls that drop from his.
But why elephant?
Nose. I don't know. I think that's what they're called.
Okay.
His rows of teeth shine naturally like pearls. Svachanda danta. That's where we get this word dentist from. His danta.
Got beautiful teeth.
Svachanda danta punktikam. Navambudanga. You could probably figure out what that means. His angas are Navambudanga, right? They are.
Why don't you just read us the English? Just let us hear it, like the poetry, you know.
Can I just play words, break down the words with you? Okay. From the tip of his beautiful nose hangs an elephant pearl. His rows of teeth shine naturally like pearls, and his bodily complexion shines like a fresh rain cloud. His hands are adorned with a flute. His majestic gait excels that of the king of elephants, and he is beautified by fine yellow garments. His threefold bending form, right? How Krishna stands, sort of like
he's famous for that.
Side. Yeah.
There's something about that threefold bending form. When you see it, you're like, oh my God, he's the most graceful, beautiful person in existence.
I don't know if it's so. Of course, Krishna is graceful, but his bending form is like, he's just sort of like cool. Krishna's like the cool avatar. He throws his hips to one side. He's not standing at attention. His crown is tipped to one side. Krishna's like the avatar of coolness. The way he dresses makes like loving emotions
when guys
arise in your heart.
When guys take their baseball hat and they take that brim and they put it off to the side,
it becomes cooler.
They're just trying to steal his opulences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. They tip it to one side. His nails glow like the moon, and he's adorned by priceless gems. His body exudes, this is very interesting. His body exudes an extraordinary, enchanting fragrance. Right?
It smells good.
Now, here's interesting. My body does not. My body exudes horrible smells at various times of the day. Right. And Krishna's body is quite different. He doesn't sweat like we sweat. He doesn't get bodily odor. When he sweats, it's an incredibly enchanting scent. It exudes an extraordinarily enchanting fragrance. And upon his broad chest, the Kaustubha gem shines. You are like a gem, Mr. Kaustubha.
Just a servant.
Along with the mark of Sri Vatsa. Right? Sometimes men have hair on their chest and they have one rogue white hair. Krishna's got like a golden hair on his chest. One golden hair on his chest, and that represents Lakshmi Devi. Here's interesting. He is Vrindavan's expert paramour, lover, right? Who dresses in a manner to enhance his charming, playful pastimes, and who liberates Indra from his pride. Right? So he dresses in a way that everybody, oh, like, who is this cool, sexy, beautiful boy? The exquisite lover of the girls of Braj always bestows happiness upon all living entities and enchants their minds. And here's another one. Here's the Palshruti. Whoever with faith recites these 8 verses glorifying the son of Nanda will easily conquer the insurmountable ocean of material existence and attain shelter at his lotus feet. Sri Nanda Nandastakam.
Ki Jai. Beautiful, Raghunath.
Yeah.
Who's the composer?
An unknown Vaishnava author.
Oh, your favorite kind.
So if you say, is that bona fide? I'll say, I don't know. It's unknown.
Okay.
No one knows. Could be some.
Okay, I'll read you a little something from a known Braj poet by the name of Sri Bilvamangala Thakur. In his book, the Krishna Karnamrita, which was relished by Sri Chaitanya. Right, Sri Chaitanya would relish.
By the
reading
way,
these verses.
you can get a copy of this on Spotify. If you look up Dravida Das, he does Kavi Karnapur's.
Yeah, I've got that. I listen. Oh, and
I mean,
the way that he
Bipala Thakur's
Krishna Karnamrita,
Krishna Karnamrita.
Selected verses. Yeah,
So good, so good.
and yeah, I couldn't chant it like he does. And some of them are very long. This is a long verse, but I'll read you the English. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
These are some verses describing Krishna's beauty. Sri Krishna's eyes are long like petals of blooming lotuses, and his very charming lotus-like face is made all the more charming by his extremely beautiful and sweet nectareous smile. So we just can't imagine the beauty of that smile. Right? His profuse curling locks look delightful with their decoration of a proud peacock's tail feather. Let him, the embodiment of all effulgence, forever shine within my heart, which is outwardly greedy for the poisonous meat of sense objects.
Ooh.
That's text number 5. Yeah.
You know, it's like Krishna's beautiful face. It's like we can only experience that when we see somebody beautiful, male or woman, or what we see somebody, we're like, they're so beautiful. When you see someone so beautiful, you got to understand this is Krishna is multiply like, and we're attracted. Like it steals someone very beautiful. It steals our attention.
Chanting.
Krishna's like that. Steals our attention.
Yeah, sometimes like someone has a face that's beautiful, and it's even subtly beautiful in certain way, you know. And like Krishna's beauty is just the deepest and the most subtle and the most, but at the same time, I'll read more about it. You ready? Text number 6. May the lotus of my Lord's face blossom within the lake of my mind. Right? I'm sick of all the garbage thoughts I have. This is what my mind is meant for. The eyes of that face resemble lotus buds being half closed. He's got these half closed eyes that are just like super enchanting. And the delicate mirror-like orbs of his cheeks. This is good, Raghunath. The delicate mirror-like orbs of his cheeks are puffed with the nectareous honey of the flute sound. He's playing his flute and his cheeks are puffed up, and it's like, whoo, and he's blowing out this nectar out of his cheeks through the flute through the ears and into the hearts of the devotees. Right?
Kiss those puffy cheeks of Krishna's.
Text 7. Let my words express even a tiny particle of a particle of a particle of the luscious beauty of Krishna, whose artless adolescent figure enraptures me, and whose moon-like face is worshipped by the soft melodies of his flute. Text number 8. All glories to Krishna, the life of my words. The black ointment from the eyes of the young girls of Vraja decorates his charming lotus face, which is languid with love, and an impassioned peacock feather adorns his head. This poetry is just the deepest, you know. You have to close your eyes and try to, you know, we talk about so much knowledge, so much jnana to help us get through our life, to help us make sense of it, to help us overcome the miseries that plague us in this world and put them in perspective and grow through them and let go of the illusion. And all of that is knowledge. But then there's the confidential knowledge that there's a person behind it. And then there's the super confidential knowledge which describes that person in beautiful detail. And that beauty is unlimited and the poetry is, it's only through poetry and song that you can try to begin to experience this. You know, and we're so fortunate if we can meet devotees that can begin to open that door for us to relish what our mind and our senses are meant to relish, not this cheap artificial stuff that we become so unfortunately captivated by, but by this. You know, you got something more for us, Harga?
I got a Kunjabihari Astakam. This is by Rupa Goswami.
What does Kunjabihari mean?
Well, Kunja is like a little, it's like, you ever see like a little foresty area where you can sort of like, it's like a little nook.
Bower.
A little bower, yeah. It's a little place where you can sort of like sneak, like a little kids will make a little fort in. This is where Krishna is bringing his girlfriends into these little secret places in the forest.
So he's,
when you hear about all this, it sounds like this sounds weird and erotic. It is weird and erotic in one sense, because but you are all the lovers of Krishna. Krishna's bringing us in. He's bringing us in. We are Krishna's lovers, and Krishna's luring us in. And so these Kunjabihari, he is the one who enjoys going into the kunjas with his lovers. And okay. This is very beautiful poetry too. Indra Nila Mani Manjula Barna Pula Nippi Kusha Manchita Karna Krishna Labir Akrorasa Sihari Sundaro Jayati Kunjabihari. The hue of his body is the charming color of sapphire. His ears are graced by blossoming kadamba flowers. So he wears flowers in his ears. And his broad chest is adorned with this gunjamala.
That's berries.
Little bean berries that are like red and black and white. All glory is to the beautiful Kunjabihari. Radhika Vandana Chandra Chakora Sarva Ballava Badudriti Chora Charchari Chatura Tanjichari Charuto Jayati Kunjabihari. He is the Chakora bird who drinks the rays emanating from the moon of Sri Radha's face. They say that the Chakora bird subsists on moonlight, right?
Yeah.
So he's the Chakora bird because all he wants to see is Radha's face. He steals, right? He's a chora, that word chora. He steals away the composure of the chaste brides of the cowherd men, right? They can't stop looking at him. Krishna is all attractive. And he skillfully dances to the rhythm known as Charchari. All glories to beautiful Kunjabihari.
Must be a very beautiful rhythm.
Must be a very beautiful rhythm, yes.
Captivating rhythm.
Sarvata pratita kolika parva dvamsanena hrita vasamagarva Koshta rakshana krite giridhari Leelaya Jayati Kunjabihari. Putting an end to the renowned customary worship of Indra, he removed Indra's pride. And to protect the people of Braj, he playfully lifted Govardhan Hill. All glories to Kunjabihari. You know, this is going to tie in with another verse I wanted to read. Can I jump over to another verse?
Okay.
We've got to understand what's going on. Like Krishna's appearance is so magical. Like the eighth child, when Krishna is the eighth child born to Devaki. So where are they? They're in a prison, like a dungeon. Like we've all had like weird, heard weird stories of dungeons. You can remember how slimy and moldy and grotesque and dark and clammy a dungeon is. So all of a sudden, Vasudev, who's in shackles, he lights up. They say he lights up brighter than the sun. Like you couldn't even see him. And then that energy, that light that's within Vasudev goes to Devaki and she becomes brilliant. And all of a sudden the brilliance goes. And all of a sudden he's thinking, they're thinking the brilliance is gone. Maybe Kamsa's thinking maybe she aborted the child to save the child from death. maybe somehow something horrible happened. Where is this verse now? No one knows what happened to this seventh child. And of course, this is Balaram. And Yogamaya was told to take this child in the womb and move this child into the womb of Rohini. And so that's how Balaram was born. And then when Krishna appeared, it's that same thing, that incredibly intense light goes through Vasudev's body. Then the intense light goes through Devaki's body. Here's my verses here, my dear.
Put them up here.
Thereafter, accompanied by the...
I mean, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead was within her womb, Devaki.
Yeah, because I'll just read this from the Bhagavatam. Because this is from the 10th canto in Advent. Because the Supreme Personality of Godhead was within her womb, Devaki illuminated the entire atmosphere in the place where she was confined. Seeing her jubilant, pure, and smiling, Kamsa thought, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, is now within her, and he will kill me. Devaki has never before looked so brilliant and jubilant. You got to understand now, Kamsa is in this very, very weird place because he is so obsessed with death. I give this analogy. Like, I remember at one time in like junior high school, someone said they were going to kick my butt. And it was like, they threatened me early in the morning, like, after school, you're dead. In junior high school, it was sort of like, I'm going to meet you after school at the bus stop. And it's like this whole thing. And the rumors get out that there's going to be a fight after school. And that's what my whole junior high school was about, fighting. And I remember it like all day long, I was thinking about this kid who wanted to fight me. Kamsa is the same way now. He knows that this eighth child of Devaki, of his sister, is going to kill him. And he cannot stop thinking about Krishna. All day long, he's thinking about Krishna, obsessed with Krishna. He's the most Krishna conscious you could be, but he's not doing it favorably. But the interesting thing is, whenever you add Krishna, even within your hate, whenever you add Krishna to your life, it becomes all auspicious. And of course, Kamsa becomes liberated. He doesn't get bhakti because he was not thinking in a favorable way, but he becomes liberated. And truthfully, whenever we add Krishna to our lives, whatever we do, and sometimes it's in a weird way, sometimes we're going through stuff, wherever you are in your life, you're going through great fortune, you're going through great distress, you're going through great loss, you got your heart broken, you're in addiction, you're trying to get out of addiction, you're newly recovered, wherever you are in your world, you just add Krishna to your own personal life, to your own personal heart, and everything is going to work out. You should just have that full confidence that you add Krishna to your life, things become all auspicious. Where do the prayers of the demigods start? Kaustubha, I want to jump right there.
There's a chapter called the Demigods Over Prayers.
Prayers by the demigods.
Did I just, okay. Yeah, but it's not the first.
Why did you just keep reading that song? You know, it was great.
Can you see that first prayer of the demigods? Because when she lit up like that, all the demigods showed up, right? When Krishna's coming, just like Raghunath Swami comes to Super Soul, and I'm getting all these phone calls. I heard Raghunath Swami's there. I heard Raghunath Swami's at Super Soul, stuff like that. So everybody wants to come out and be with the great master. So the same way, Krishna is appearing. Surya appears, Shiva appears, Durga appears, Chandra appears, Varuna appears. They all want to see Lord Krishna.
This is saying it's 25. That's when they appear.
Okay, hold. Okay. So, all right, I'll keep reading this. Raga mandala vibhushita vamsi vibramena mandunot savan samsi stuyamana charita sukasari sheni birjayati Kunjabihari. His vamsi, his flute, is decorated with different ragas and raginis. Did you know there were raginis? Raginis are feminine ragas, melodies. by which he announces to the gopis the festival of transcendental Cupid. Hearing the sweet sound of that Vamsi, flocks of enamored male and female parrots extol his character. All glories to Kunjabihari. Let me read one more. Satakumbha Ruchihari Takula, Keki Chandra Kaviraji Tachula, Navya Yovana Lasad Brajanari, Ranjano Jayati Kunjabihari. His beautiful garments have the splendor of gold. The top of his head is decorated with peacock feathers, and he delights the girls of Braj, who shine with ever fresh youth. All glories to Kunjabihari. Tag, you're it.
Who was the composer of that?
That's Rupa Goswami.
Lovely.
Okay.
Because back.
You know what? I found this prayer I wanted to share. This is one of the first prayers. So the demigods arrive and they want to offer prayers, right? When you see God, when you go to the temple, instead of saying gimme, 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 right? You offer a prayer in appreciation. So here, the very first one I like a lot. See if this resonates with you, Kaustubha. Oh Lord, you never deviate from your vow. Now, I don't know who's saying this. It just says prayers of the demigods. I don't know if they all spontaneously said the same prayer or one or the other, stepped forward and gave a prayer. It says, oh Lord, you never deviate from your vow, which is always perfect, because whatever you decide is perfectly correct and cannot be stopped by anyone. Being present in the three phases of cosmic manifestation, creation, maintenance, and annihilation, right? You are the supreme truth. Indeed, unless one is completely truthful, one cannot achieve your favor. Isn't that beautiful? Which therefore cannot be achieved by hypocrites. It's like, to really get Krishna's favor, we have to become free from all duplicity. Our external behavior and our internal behavior have to connect. I can't be putting on a front trying to impress. That vulnerability is welcome to get Krishna's favor. He wants to see us being straightforward, being honest, being sincere to get his favor. You are the active principle, the real truth in all the ingredients of creation, and therefore you are known as Antaryami, the inner force. You are equal to everyone, and your instructions apply for everyone for all time. This is it. This is so ecumenical. It is so it is for all people of all spiritual paths. These instructions are for everyone, for all times. You are the beginning of all truth. Therefore, offering our obeisances, we surrender unto you. Kindly give us protection, my Lord. Isn't that beautiful?
Lovely.
Lovely. Imagine being in that dungeon. All of a sudden, it's so dark and clammy, and all of a sudden, bright lights.
Have you visited before Krishna's birthplace?
Yeah, I mean, of course it's not the original one, but I've been there in Mathura.
I haven't been. This one place I've never gone.
You gotta go.
Yeah,
are you kidding?
Yeah,
it's nice. It's great. It's a really nice temple with beautiful paintings on the ceiling.
Okay, more Krishna Karnamrita.
Please.
This is text 12. I'll read 12 through 17. Let my mind attain some inexpressible, beatific bliss from thinking of Krishna's lotus feet, which are the home of the eternal pastimes of the most beautiful maidens in all the worlds, which destroy the pride of whole clusters of lotuses, and which are highly esteemed for their great eagerness in providing safety for the Lord's humble devotees. May the Lord of our life, that young boy Krishna, shine incessantly within our hearts. His eyes, full of love for Radha, are the abode of infinite beauty. Every day they appear newer and newer. At every step they increase their charm and elegance, and at every moment they sparkle more and more brilliantly. May my mind float along in the flood of bliss emanating from Krishna's moon-like face, made charming by a very mild smile. Krishna has the appearance of a young boy, and beautified by the waves of his passionate ecstasy, breaking the ocean of sweetness, he soothes all distress. Let the force of the flood of bliss emanating from Krishna's face, which saturates the whole universe, play within my heart, which is moistened by contact with Krishna's lotus feet, by the display of charming, artless emotions on his open, lovely lotus face, and by the melody of his flute, which is relished by Radha. I bow down to the feet of Lord Krishna, whose jeweled anklets tinkle and whose footprints decorate the paths of Vraja. May the sweet jingling of the jeweled anklets of Krishna, the master of the milkmaids, be manifest in my mind. Radha's white swans swimming in the lotus-filled ponds of the Yamuna accord that sweet jingling a warm welcome with the melodious warbling from their throats.
Could be a good name for a band, Master of the Milkmaids.
Okay. But I mean, just what, you could just read this over and over and over, and, you know, in accordance with the depth of your letting go of everything and just wanting this only, the beauty and the meaning of that will just deepen and deepen and deepen within the heart. You have something more?
I do. And you know, this is one of my favorites. You know where I'm going?
No.
I'm going right to Sripad Vallabhacharya.
Okay. Oh, Madhurastakam?
Yeah, of course. And he, Vallabhacharya has written many, 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 many songs glorifying Sri Krishna. I think we're going to go visit Srinathji on this pilgrimage we're about to go on in October. So I'm looking forward to that. But this is Vallabhacharya's vision of Krishna. Krishna appeared to him. This is his vision. His lips are sweet. His face is sweet. His eyes are sweet. His smile is sweet. His heart is sweet. His gait is sweet. Everything is sweet about the original Lord of Sweetness. So we can imagine Krishna in our mind as we're saying this. We can close our eyes and think of a picture of Krishna. His voice is sweet. His character is sweet. His attire is sweet. His speech is sweet. His movements are sweet. His wandering is sweet. Everything is sweet about the original Lord of Sweetness. His flute is sweet. His foot dust is sweet. His hands are sweet. His feet are sweet. His dancing is sweet. His friendship is sweet. Everything is sweet, but the original Lord of Sweetness. His singing is sweet. His drinking is sweet. His eating is sweet. His sleeping is sweet. His beauty is sweet. His tilak is sweet, right? When I picture this, I picture a little Krishna, right? And sometimes we see a little child, and we see a little child's feet, and a child's feet are actually quite adorable. Imagine how adorable Krishna's feet are, right? Or sometimes a little child eating, and they don't, you know, they can't fully hold the food properly, right? So imagine Krishna eating. Everything becomes adorable like this. Right? His deeds are sweet. His acts of deliverance are sweet. Even his stealing is very sweet. His amorous play is sweet, and his yawning is sweet, right? And even his chastisements are sweet. Sometimes Krishna chastises Mother Yashoda, right? Even as a baby. Everything is sweet about the original Lord of Sweetness. His garland of Kunjabiharis, there's our Kunjabiharis necklace again, is very sweet. His flower garland is sweet. Even his Yamuna River is so sweet, and her waves are sweet. And the lotuses on the Yamuna are very sweet. His gopis are sweet. His leela, or his pastimes, are sweet. All of his paraphernalias and ornaments are sweet. And of course, his food is sweet. His delight is sweet. His embrace is sweet. Everything is sweet about the original Lord of Sweetness. Side note on that sweetness. When I first got second initiation and I started waking the deities in the morning, And I never really understood this until I started going on the altar. I was in New York City at the time. And they said, okay, and you got to feed Krishna. As soon as Krishna wakes up, he wants to eat. So I'm thinking, what does Krishna eat for breakfast? It's not even breakfast. When Krishna wakes up, he immediately eats a whole plate of sweets. There's like, at least in New York, there's a whole plate of burfi for him to eat. These like almost like fudge. His cowherd boys are sweet. His cows are sweet. His staff is sweet. Like my staff is like his little stick. His act of creation is sweet. And the way he defeats the demons, even that is sweet. And his bestowal upon fruits is sweet. Everything is sweet about the original Lord of Sweetness.
No, sweet.
It was very sweet.
You want to hear something very confidential, Raghunath?
Confidential secret goodies? Yes.
This is from Padyavali, and this is describing what Krishna says, little Krishna, when he's sleeping. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
Some of these verses, they're just so charming. It's like, okay, this is, I'll read a couple about what he says when he's sleeping. Hearing Krishna say, so this is little boy Krishna, right? And his mother's watching him sleep, and he's talking in his sleep. Hearing sleeping Krishna say, Shiva, welcome, sit down. Brahma, you sit at my left. Kartikeya, auspiciousness to you. Indra, happiness to you. Kuvera, I do not see you. So he's greeting all the demigods. Mother Yashoda said, child, what nonsense are you saying? I pray these words of Mother Yashoda will protect you all. Right? This it's just, if we can understand a little bit about the devotion of Mother Yashoda, that here's the Lord of the demigods, and she can't even, for her to even think of him as being that is impossible for her to even conceive of, because she just loves him as her son. That just thinking of that protects us from all of the garbage that our mind could otherwise become absorbed in. This is another one about Krishna's sleep. Hearing Vasudeva's son Krishna say in his sleep, Mother Earth, please become calm. Know that your burden will certainly be removed. Have I not already practically killed the demon Kamsa? The gopis became stunned with wonder. All glories to these words Lord Krishna spoke in his sleep. Yeah. And here's some ones I think you'll like, Raghunath. They're simple, in one sense, they're very simple verses, but they're just like saturated with rasa, with a particular type of love for Krishna. And these are his childhood ones, Raghunath. I got these especially for you. You ready?
Tell me.
I know this is what you relish. His restless eyes ignoring the face of the queen of Gopas. His lips anointed with the sweet nectar of a smile. An infant crawls on the ground with his knees. I worship that infant, whose complexion is the dark color of a tamal leaf. The gopis asked, where is your face? Where are your eyes? Where is your nose? These are like the elderly gopis, right? These are like Mother Yashoda's friends and everything. They're all sitting around the little baby Krishna, right? And they're saying, where's your face? Where are your eyes? Where's your nose? Where are your ears? Where's the top of your head? Now they're asking this question of the person that knows what to speak of, knowing where, any child, right? They're learning, oh, this is the nose. These are the ears, right? And Krishna is the knower of everything. But they're saying, do you know where your nose is?
He's the knower of past, present, future, beginning, middle, and end, the cause of all cosmic
but
creation.
this is
saying, where is your nose, Krishna?
where is it? Because his opulence isn't that he knows everything. That's an opulence of him that is far less important than the opulence of his love. And so this is what interests him, not knowing everything, not being omniscient. He's not interested in doing austerities to gain, to be able to read someone's mind or to know past, present, and future. That stuff is boring to him. He has no interest in any of that. He wants to sit surrounded by these loving women and just relish the love coming from their hearts to his and from his heart back and forth, right? The gopis ask, where's your face? Where are your eyes? Where's your nose? Where are your ears? Where's the top of your head? With each question, the Lord placed his flower petal finger in the appropriate spot. In this way, the infant Lord delighted the gopis. That feeling of
one
love.
Of these things, like if you're new to the show and you're like, this is sort of interesting. At the very least, this stuff is interesting. I mean, where do you get this conception of God? He is my baby, and I love my little baby God. I mean, who come up with this stuff?
Well,
it's very, very interesting. My Lord is very. Who would say, if you describe God, where do you hear this in any other spiritual tradition? My Lord is adorable. You don't hear things like that. You hear all powerful, all knowing, royal, majestic, etc. He's adorable.
This next verse, Raghunath, speaks even more to what you're saying. This is a verse composed by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya.
Ooh.
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he's in our literature like Chaitanya Charitamrita, but he's a historic figure from 500 years ago in India. Like,
he's a big
to this day, scholars know this man was the most prominent scholar of all of India, a land that was known
for scholars,
and not ordinary scholars, but just like the most powerful minds, right? Sarvabhauma to this day is still known. And he was an impersonalist. He didn't have faith in a personal form of God until he met Sri Chaitanya. And Sri Chaitanya just so completely blew his mind that his heart totally opened up and he began to love Krishna. So this is coming from the most powerful intellectual, right? This verse. And this is a verse it's spoken obviously it's speaking from the perspective of Mother Yashoda. It's revealing something in the most simple way, the deepest love. The love that we see reflected in this world. The mother will know something about this, but it's infinitely deep. And Yashoda has this relationship with the Lord of the entire universe, but she can only know him as her son. So this is the verse. It's very simple. Krishna, at one moment, I carefully bathe and anoint you. And the next moment, you are again covered with dust.
He's very naughty.
I mean, that's, in other words, if you don't understand it all, it's very plain. But when you understand it from the other perspective, from the perspective of the greatest scholar in the world, right? You understand that within that what all the Vedas, what all the Upanishads, the depth, and the density of their knowledge, it's all leading to achieve a state of consciousness like this, where you're just fully absorbed in love and there's nothing else. It's not getting polluted or contaminated or watered down. One drop, you have nothing but the purest, deepest love. That's what
Imagine in any other religious system in the world, describe God, and you would say, "Oh, my Lord, he is very naughty.
It's dusty, crawling around.
Dusty, he gets very dusty. I just clean him, and he gets dusty again."
I think we ran out of time, right? Unless you want to keep going.
Oh man, I'm gonna keep going at home.
Okay, we'll
keep this
going.
Party going at home in front of my altar. But that was beautiful. I had a million more. Thanks everybody for joining us on.
We should do this kind of thing. we can do this kind of thing more often every now and then. You know, we should just do
Yes, we can do whatever we want to do.
like a sweet baby Krishna kind of thing. Just start reading verses, you know.
Yeah, it's really nice. And I encourage everybody to have a little bit extra Krishna time tonight. Put a little time and read Krishna's pastimes, read Advent of Lord Krishna. It's a very, very special day. Keep Krishna at the forefront of your mind. Thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate this community, Wisdom of the Sages community. You're beautiful people. Thank you so much.
And come to the Bhakti Center tonight if you can. Maybe we'll be able to broadcast that on Zoom or something like that, or share a link. Maybe the Bhakti Center's broadcasting.
Me and Kaustubha are going to be there, sitting next to each other, embracing, singing together, right? We're going to sing together, embrace a little bit more, hug. We're going to sing more, put our hands in the air. We're going to hold hands and just sing like that, holding hands. We're going to put both hands in the air again, and grab you by the wrists. We're going to swing each other around and dance. Then we're going to get plates of prasad, food offered with love to Lord Krishna. We're going to feed each other.
You're going to have to stay up till midnight if you're going to get that, Raghunath.
We're going to feed each other, you and me. Pakora for you, pakora for me. Oh, everybody.
I wonder what Karuna's doing for Janmashtami. Or is it tomorrow where you are? It's tomorrow.
That's what she's doing.
So, someone was asking, why is it tomorrow, like in Europe and other places? It's because it's the moon, right? It's based on the moon. So the moon that's arising right here now hasn't arisen there yet. But it's coming around.
We're trying to figure it out. I've tried to figure it out. I stopped. I let the astrologers figure it out.
Okay.
So this is my morning festive wear. I got to think of some evening festive wear now. I got to think, what will Radha Muralidhar like to see me in? Oh, Krishna.
Hey.
Please. Oh, you're kidding. Coolest Shekar.
Playing tomorrow night.
Told
Right?
me does
Who's
it.
on the chat board? Yeah.
Who's on the chat board does a version of Nanda Nandastakam.
There you
I
go.
had no idea. Date night with Krishna.
Have you ever been in Vrindavan on Janmashtami?
Oh, Andrea Kay's here. Very bowl, Andrea Kay. Have I been to Vrindavan on Janmashtami? No.
I haven't either.
Let's do it. Let's go. You see, it's very special.
Hey,